Now.
Yeah.
I'm going to read her bio. The moment we've all been waiting for. Mollena Williams, the delicate, trembling flower of submission. That is copyrighted, whatever that is. Nobody else can use that. Is a New York City born and raised writer, critically acclaimed actress, BDSM educator, storyteller, and award-winning executive pervert. I like the creds. She is proud to have served as an International Miss Leather 2010 and thrilled to have been named Miss San Francisco Leather 2009. I hope she's wearing leather tonight. Her first solo show, 69 Stories, One Pervert's Tale, has been performed in the US and Canada. You can see an excerpt from it here at Kiss My Boots, Part 1 and Part 2.
It's a website. You don't have to read all of it.
I was going to say here. Yeah,
it's cool.
Check her cake blog. How about that? Can you put that one in there? The preferred, I was like.
That's fine too.
Right, I like that. The Perverted Negress, or stare in a wed dismay at her antics on Twitter.
It should be odd.
www.mollena.com. That's 2 L's. Welcome, Mollena Williams, everybody.
Mine will be raunchy.
Yes.
So usually if I'm in a restaurant and some tall white guy is giving me the hard eye, I get kind of pissed off, right? Like, do you think I'm about to steal your fucking salt and pepper shaker? I'm at this pizzeria and I'm there because I'm seeing a show that's in the basement of the pizzeria that a friend of mine is in, and I came upstairs because it was so fucking hot in the basement, I couldn't stand it. And every time I came upstairs to get a drink of water, the guy behind the counter is eyeballing me and I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously? Third time around, my friend says to me, maybe he's checking you out. And I'm thinking, I'm sorry, no. Tall, goofy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guys are usually not checking me out. But after the fourth or fifth time, I was like, maybe he is checking me out. So of course, all sorts of suave, debonair ideas of hitting on this guy flew right out the window. And so at the end of the show, I chased my friends outside. And I said, I'm just gonna give him a note. You guys wait by the fucking door, and I'm gonna meet you outside. So I ran up to him and gave him a note that said basically, hi, I like you. Do you like me? Here's my number. Call me if you'd like. And I ran up and gave the note and I said, please don't read it until oh my God, you're reading it! And I get to the curb and my friends are like, Mollena Williams, international pervert, just gave the pizza guy a note. And ran away. Before I got back over the Bay Bridge, I had already 2 missed calls on my cell phone from this guy. And he's like, that was the cutest thing I ever seen. Why don't y'all give me a call? And I'm like, oh, he sounds like a fucking hick. This is not gonna work. So our first date, we wound up making out so flagrantly in the front of this bar that the bartender asked us to leave, and so you knew shit was gonna be good later that night. We got back to his place in Berkeley. And we started making out, and I'd never seen a guy get hard across the room just from looking at my titties, but he did. And as I came walking across the room towards him, he's like, damn, baby, damn. You know that look someone gives you when you know that there's nothing else in the planet happening for them right there and then? At all? Ever, and that perhaps these are the first pair of titties they've ever seen in their life, and all they want to do is get up on that shit and have to be pried off with like a fucking ice scraper or something. That was the look I was getting from this guy, and I'm thinking, all right, this could possibly work out. So we go to bed, and he takes out his cock and lays it on my chest between my titties and starts sliding it up towards my face, and I'm thinking, that is the most magnificent penis I've ever seen on a Caucasian man. And he looks down at me with my tits wrapped around his cock and says, you like that girl? And I don't know what happened, but when I opened my mouth, I looked up and I said, I do, Daddy. And his cock twitched once. And I looked up into his eyes and I said, what's the matter, Daddy? And at that point I expected him to freak out, like, you know, go right into some freaky fucked up age play, right on your first goddamn date with some dude you just met. And it's a risk, you know, it's a risk to reveal your secret nasty fantasies to anybody, to your BFF. Would you pick up the phone and be like, girl, I just called this motherfucking daddy as he was fucking me on our first date, girl. So you're waiting to see what the fuck is gonna happen. Is he gonna run and jump off? Is he gonna assume you have daddy issues? Is he gonna start beating the crap out of you because he assumes you're some sort of freak and that's what freaks want? But instead he looked down and said, oh, baby girl. Ooh. You look so good with daddy's cock between your titties. So I said, all right, okay, let's roll with this. Let's see how far this motherfucker's willing to go. So a couple of minutes later, he turns me over and starts running his hands down my back and goes, oh, girl, baby, girl, you got such a beautiful ass. Just like your mama. Oh. That should have fucked me up. That should have been so wrong. I was the one jumping up and running out, but instead my pussy clenched so hard I left a spot on the sheets right there. And I turned over and looked over my shoulder at him and said, thank you, Daddy. What else about me is like Mommy? And he said, I don't know, baby girl, let's find out. Okay, now at this point, I'm thinking, all right, cool, I got game, I'm cool, I'm like a fucking 12-year veteran of the perp circuit, I know what the fuck is going on, I got this. He flips me over and puts 2 fingers inside me and goes, oh, baby, your pussy is very, very, very wet. Such an innocent little girl. And I said, I'm sorry, Daddy, I didn't mean to be bad. And he said, it's okay, baby. Daddy loves the way his little girl tastes. Yeah, okay, so... so you feel me? So I was just like, Jesus Christ, best first date ever, right? So he reaches over and puts on a condom and holds down my chest and goes, baby, is this the first time anyone's ever put themselves inside you? And I looked up and I said, yes, Daddy. And he said, good girl, thank you for waiting for me. And as he slid his cock inside, I tried to hold back, but I couldn't, and my entire body turned inside out, and I came so hard, I put my hand on his chest like I was that fucking dude in Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom, and I was gonna show this motherfucker his heart. By the time I finished coming all over his dick, because the shit was so good, toes curling, knees locked, and I am screaming with my head thrown back, and he puts his hand over my mouth and says, shh, baby. We don't want Mommy to hear too. Oh, be quiet, Daddy. And I was a very, very good girl for Daddy. Because that's what good girls do. And then good girls sometimes take it up the ass for Daddy. Because of course, Daddy wants to be the first one there too. So at the end of the night, I'm laying there and I'm like, so, I thought you said you weren't kinky. Because over dinner, he had insisted that he wasn't a pervert like me. And he said, nah, girl, I ain't kinky. That's just the way I fuck. And I said, okay, Daddy. Whatever works for you.